Hello, this is Ms. Zoomstein, and today I'm going to walk you through how to correctly format both the cover page and the rest of the essay utilizing MLA 8. It should only take a few moments and should help you earn full credit for the formatting requirements of your essay. I will be uploading an additional video about in-text citations and the works cited page later on. So go ahead and open up a document in Word so that you can follow along with each of these steps as I explain them. Once you've opened your Word document, the very first thing we're going to want to do is to make sure that our font size and style are both correct for MLA requirements. MLA requires Times New Roman 12-point font. If you look over here at the font on Word, since I just opened it, it is set to what Word's default is, which is Calibri. So we need to change that to Times New Roman. So click the drop-down menu and scroll on down till you see Times New Roman and select it. Now again, it needed to be in 12-point font, and we're set at 11. So let's go ahead and quickly fix that with the drop-down to 12. The next thing we're going to want to do is your title page specifically needs to be centered, while the rest of your document will not be. So let's go ahead and click on the center alignment button right here. And then a few other things quickly to make sure our line and paragraph spacing is correct. Word automatically adds a space after your paragraph, expecting you to write in single space. However, for MLA, we write in double space. So you're going to want to make sure you remove this so Word doesn't automatically add extra space in that you don't want. Then again, click that drop down one more time and select 2.0 because that says you are wanting double space. And it will take care of those for you. Last thing you're going to want to make sure before we can start writing is that your margins are correct. Now you may not see the ruler like I have at the top and the side of my screen. And if you don't, just to double check that your margins are correct and that they are 1 inch on every side, just go ahead and hit Page Layout and then select Margins over on the left-hand side. And the first option should say Normal, and that's a 1-inch margin on every single side, which is what is the correct style for MLA. So click that. Now you can go back to home and let's start typing. So the very first line of your cover page needs to be a little more than 1.5 inches from the very top of the page. So in order to see all these spacings before we start typing, I recommend going to the zoom menu at the bottom right-hand side of your screen and zooming out until you can see the entire page without having to scroll. That way you can make sure your spacing looks correct between each of these elements. You can change this later when you're ready to actually type in your essay so that you can actually read what you're writing. But right now, zooming out is the best way to go. Our first line, like I said, needs to be about 1.5 inches down. So go ahead. I'm already set on the very first line, and I'm going to hit Enter twice. That's actually spacing me down 4 lines because I'm in double space format, and that's where I need to put my first point. Now, if you're in college, this would be where you would put the title of your university. Here, we just need to put Clear Lake High School. All right. After that, we need a little space before we get to our title for our essay. So you're going to hit Enter 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times. Here, you're going to type the title of your essay. This should not be Persuasive Essay. That's your subtitle. You need a title that makes sense with what you're actually writing about. So if my essay is going to be about chewing gum in class, like our example was on Monday, I'm going to title it something like The Positive Side of Gum Chewing. That's a little more interesting title, and you understand what I'm talking about and kind of my perspective on it. You'll hit Enter once and put your subtitle. The subtitle will be the same for everybody, and that is Persuasive Essay. All right. Now we're going to need to hit Enter a couple more times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now here, you're going to put your name. So I'm putting my name, first and last place, hit enter once. The course name and number, now if you're in college, this is typically a very long number, but for high school, this will be what class period you're in. So you are in English 4, and let's say you're in 5th period. I'm going to put 5th period right after that. Hit enter again. This will be where you'd put your professor's name or your teacher's name. So there's my name, Miss Zoomstein. And then the date that the paper is due is the very last thing you put on here. Remember, your paper is due on Monday, the hard copy, when you come into class. So we're going to go ahead and put October 31st, 2016. Please write out the full name of the month. Don't abbreviate or put slashes in, because this is the proper formatting. One last thing that we can do before we move on to the first page that actually contains your writing. MLA 8 allows for you to increase the size of your title slightly to from 12 point to 16 point. You do not bold your title or underline it or add any other frou-frou to it, but you can go ahead and increase that font size up to 16 so it stands out compared to everything else on your page. It's easiest to do that, go back and do that at the end, because that way you only have to change it once and then click back at the bottom of your title page. There you are. Now let's move on to the next page of your essay, which is where you'd actually start writing your body paragraphs and your intro paragraph. So we have one extra line there. I'm just going to go ahead and enter until I get onto the next page. Now again, I don't need to be zoomed out this far because I don't need to see the whole page anymore for alignment. So I'm going to go back to that zoom menu and zoom in back to 100, where I feel like I can easily read everything. One other thing we need to change before we can start writing is you're going to want to make sure you're aligned left now. All right, so then you can simply hit the tab button on your keyboard to indent the required 1/2 inch and then start writing your essay. That should be your introductory paragraph. Go ahead and write all the way through to the very end of your conclusion. The only other thing that you need to add for MLA formatting until we get to the Works Cited page is a page number. Easiest way to do that is to go up to the top, click on Insert. You'll notice over towards the right-hand side these options: header, footer, page number. Go ahead and click on page number where it has the drop-down menu. Hover your mouse over top of page and it'll give you some options. You're going to want to select plain number 3 because it is on the upper right-hand side of your page, which is where your page numbers need to be. Now, we've got two little quick things we need to fix before we're done with these page numbers. If you notice, it went ahead and automatically added a page number on your title page. That is not correct for MLA formatting. There can't be a number there. So an easy way to fix that is to click on Different First Page right here in the center at the top, and that will take away that number at the top of your first page. See, now there's nothing. The other thing that you need to fix is click right in front of your number. You need to put just your last name right in front of that number and then a space so that your pages are numbered correctly. So Zoomstein, right there. Now as I'm writing and as I'm adding more pages, which ideally since you have 6 paragraphs, it'll be a lot more than 1 page typed. But because I've made this setting in here, now when I click away, every time it adds a page, it will have Zoomstein and the next number. So if I hit enter right now, all the way down this page, I'll show you. See, Zoomstein 3. There you go. So this is all the formatting that you need to worry about until we move on to cover in-text citations and works cited. I hope this is helpful. If you have further questions, feel free to talk to me after class or during tutorials. Have a great day.